Ellie Quinn, a London-based content creator, was brought up in a Christian household and spent most of her childhood visiting the church with her father. As she grew up, her spiritual feelings translated to meditating, yoga, prayer practices, and she explained her rituals, saying, "For the last few years, I was quite a spiritual person. I enjoyed learning about other religions, the universe, the law of attraction, meditation, yoga, and all of these things. I also had my own prayer practice and meditation practice, which I had done on and off, but it was never really something I could stick to." Ellie's open mind towards faith is mostly because of her travels all around the world. From Cappadocia, the land of beautiful horses, Lebanon, the sweet land of milk and honey, India, the land of diversity, to Sri Lanka, South Korea, Malaysia, China, Pakistan, and even Saudi Arabia. Ellie has been everywhere. Growing up in the United Kingdom, I did face a lot of media, headlines, and a lot of opinions on Muslims and Islamophobia, Ellie recalls. One thing that I remember very vividly was when Subway, the big food chain, wanted to start doing or said that they were going to start producing halal meat, and it kicked off in the UK. I do remember thinking, which is really bad, why do we need halal meat? I agreed with the headlines because there weren't any saying this is why we should do it. I had not traveled at that point. Ellie Quinn started off her travels 10 years ago, and her first interaction with Muslims and Islam was in 2014 when she visited Cappadocia, Bosnia, and Indonesia. She describes her interaction saying, "I remember being in Cappadocia. I remember being in Mostar in Bosnia, as well as Indonesia, and hearing the call of prayer, the adhan, and I do remember loving that sound. To be fair, so many people love that sound. I feel like it really does call the people in." In October 2019, Ellie Quinn traveled to Pakistan and experienced the hospitable nature the country is famous for. Though it is an Islamic country, not much impacted Ellie until she got to visit Faisal Mosque, the national mosque of Pakistan in Islamabad. Ellie fondly describes her experience in Faisal Mosque, also one of the largest mosques in the Islamic world, saying, "We visited the mosque on Friday evening, and up until then, I had no idea it was a holy day in Islam. I thought Tom and I would be led towards different doors to then meet in the middle. But I got taken upstairs towards a balcony, which I was very confused about." Ellie says her naivety on the prayer system led her to be frustrated, and she thought it was because women were not equally represented in Islam, as the headlines had mentioned. Her confusion was resolved when a friend explained they were segregated because it was prayer time. I did then get to watch the men pray, and I felt so emotional afterwards seeing everyone pray, and I had never seen anything like that ever. I'd definitely say that was a turning point. Just something clicked in my mind. After that, I knew I wanted to travel to Islamic countries. Next on her travels was surprisingly Saudi Arabia. She reached the Arab country on the 1st of January and loved the warmth of the people and the deserts there. The main thing that got me in Saudi and made a huge impression on me was prayer. Ellie Quinn noticed how people timed their lives according to the prayer timings and how they would shut everything down when the adhan was called. Ellie then visited the land of Medina, and despite everyone's call of concern, she found herself at peace. From bus rides and roaming around to hotel bookings and return flights, Ellie was warmly welcomed everywhere. Visit to Medina was the main reason why I felt like learning more about Islam, says Ellie Quinn. From the benchmark of the Islamic world to the land of diversity, Ellie Quinn arrived in India in March. Until then, she had a lot of knowledge on Hinduism, Sikhism, and Buddhism, but not much on Islam. Ellie's first interaction with Muslims in India was through her tour guide in Agra. We were at Akbar Sood, which is an incredible building, and the tour guide said to me and the team, "Do you know what the term Akbar means?" Hearing no, he explained that it means great, and that's why Muslims say Allahu Akbar. That small moment had such a huge impact on me, and it led me to download the copy of the Quran on my Kindle, and I also started to learn how to pray, Ellie recalls. When the pandemic hit, Ellie decided to settle herself in Indonesia instead of the UK, since it was a safer place to isolate. She was accommodated right beside a mosque, and hearing the adhan 5 times a day motivated her to learn about Islam. Indonesia is really where all my learning happened. It very much started from how to pray, watching YouTube videos to get answers on why Muslims don't eat pork, or why they don't like dogs inside their houses, on the hijab, and then Ramadan came up. Ellie fasted from food and water and realized how peaceful it was. In July, she went back to the UK and was sure she wanted to take the Shahada. When the mosques started opening back up, Ellie visited a local sheikh in her area and took the Shahada on the 23rd of August 2020. When the Creator above wills, everything else becomes irrelevant. May Allah continue to guide us all. Ameen.